Oh boy. Okay. That was not as smooth as I wanted it to be, but this is game one of the finals on Duel between Team for the win on the upper left, Carbon Team, ProProProPro and happydeath both running double Neo again.
And on the right side, Tangibility and Wreckz in that double striker. Will this be the answer to double Neo? We will see. Not much has been able to answer it yet.
And both Wreckz and Tangi taunting Happy and ProPro with their tournament cups.
The tournament cups that are unfortunately not up for grabs during
Not up for grabs, unfortunately.
So
Soon enough.
lose, the taunt is going to be pretty effective.
Soon enough, though, guys. Soon enough. So, Happy and ProPro just taking their outpost. Wreckz and Tangi a little bit behind.
Slightly slower opening than we're used to seeing on Duel, though. Duel is certainly a map of, I guess you could, I wouldn't say antiquity, but it's the iconic 2v2 map.
Oh yeah, it's the iconic, honestly, it's the iconic anything be anything map. A lot of people love it. Oh yeah, a lot of people love it. It's flat, it's even, it's clear. There's a mid, there are kinda side paths, but mostly there's a mid. And yeah, it's quintessential in AirMech. So both teams taking their forward outposts.
And we'll see if we can get one of those good old mid fights.
It's Duel. It's gonna happen. ProPro clearing one of the Goliaths. A blue team not focusing on the Goliaths at all. And ProPro harassing a little bit, but being responded very quickly by Tangibility. Radar drop is what he was doing. And Happy gets focused by Tangi and Wreckz. So again, guys, higher level every single step of the way. Finals match is gonna be the cream of the creamo of the croppo, as they say in south of the border areas.
I don't think they say it there, and I don't even know where there is.
Okay, so let's focus on the matter at hand right now.
Yes,
Happy with a couple of boomers.
Let's focus on this excellent harass from ProPro, really taking a chunk out of that cluster.
Actually, Happy was the one that dropped the boomers, and a lot of them went off because there's nothing really here that can kill the lighter units. Just Longhorn and a bunch of flackers.
Whoa. There they go. They just lost that whole unit cluster to a few boomers. How's that?
39 to 31 right now. It's I mean, it's a small difference, but this is opening game. Early game, the difference is the differences in early game are really much more relevant because you're really jockeying for early game position. And that kind of defines your economy for the rest of the game.
That's true, and if anyone has that early game position right now, I would definitely say it's ProPro and happydeath, as they are already pushing up onto the very strained unit cluster of Tangibility and Wreckz, who are just getting driven back and absolutely crumbling under this blitzkrieg where they were expecting, I think, a more slow siege to happen.
It's 29 to 39 right now, so it is widening. A lot of blue units did get finished off just there, as you mentioned. Tangi and Wreckz are spread out now by the forward of their forward outpost. This is a classic Duel spread right here, and eventually I would expect to see more harass on the close posts.
And of course, now that they do control mid, they've got their pick of where they want to push to. They've got the options of going through that top outpost, that bottom outpost, or even pushing all the way to the far rear with a side push or a stealth drop.
Tangi creating a couple of zippers, getting scouted by cloaked happydeath, who had an ice cream bucky, gonna send that to... Oh, he was gonna try to neutralize the bottom right corner, but Tangi caught him. This is an insane level of AirMech right now being played. And then there's Wreckz. And then happydeath and ProPro. Full mid control, 57 to 46. It's about the same upkeep difference right now. Artillery firing in, just like you'd expect on a match on Duel.
There is more artillery on the side of... well, no, the artillery is pretty much drawn even now. And this is exactly what you expect from a classic game of Duel.
Great intercept by happydeath to ensure that his teammate gets back to his outpost without getting finished off by the focus fire of the two strikers. The blue team is now going for the Goliath, or at least trying to expand their foothold to that area, to that right side. And I am zoomed all the way out in this, this new UI where you can zoom out during spectator. That's really awesome. And Tangibility and Wreckz trying to get whatever they can focused. There's a lot of shooting back and forth right now, but ProPro and happydeath leapfrogging their units. Lots of Buckies actually on the field.
And eventually they're just going to edge their way into that bottom outpost, it looks like, if Tangibility and Wreckz don't make a move to stop them.
This is great positioning for that, actually. They have that option of pointing toward the forward or pointing toward the close. It's really, really great. Wreckz putting down an
artillery. At this point, they could even just go straight for a death push. There's really not a lot of units in the way.
happydeath doing a lot of cloaked Bucky drops, and Bucky's actually stopped to fire now, so they will start firing out of range. They're like shooters. They're very similar to shooters, and ProPro now with a couple of runners. Oh boy, this is a lot of harass going down. This might get the outpost neutralized. Where is happydeath? Okay, he was getting away there, but will ProPro get this neutralized? He does. Tangi and Wreckz respond very quickly.
But they don't respond in time to save it from neutrality. They are going to reclaim it.
And happydeath with more cloaked Bucky drops. And ProPro and Happy with both boomer drops. Wow. Oh my god, they are demolishing the front line that Tangi and Wreckz have.
This is just insane. They are dropping everything down so low.
I think the more important thing to realize is how coordinated they have, and happydeath getting focused or finished off by Tangibility before getting back to his post. That was very last minute, very, very close.
That is right, RUI. Tangibility and Wreckz showing that no, we are not out of this yet. It might look a little bit bad for us, but we are still going to keep in this fight.
Although the upkeep gap is widening, they still definitely have ways to come back and ways to hold out. ProPro and Happy, oh man, more boomer drops, all of that dead debris, if you can see that right there by the forward. That's a lot. Now
and
Vulcans!
Those boomers are just going to town. This is, like I was saying earlier, this blitzkrieg warfare that they've started to develop. It's off the meta, but it is really achieving results, as now they're pushing out with their tanks on just one front.
I love it. Vulcans coming out, tank pushing coming out. They didn't use the other set of their units, but they can afford it because they are ahead a little bit. Has anyone grabbed the boxes? Yeah, you know what? I think they did grab the boxes. Okay, one of them was grabbed. The second box on the left is still there. But Wreckz getting killed. Wreckz getting finished off by ProProProPro. Happy and Pro dropping a never-ending stream of stasis blasts on this blue outpost. And most of these units have been finished off.
At this point, if Tangibility and Wreckz want to adapt to survive this boomer spam, they're going to have to drop a Gaddy or a Tesla in their main unit cluster just so it can survive.
Yeah, there's so many boomers getting dropped, and Happy and ProPro taking advantage of the fact they can both drop a stasis, so there's so much unit slowing happening. 76 to 35, it is getting, man, Happy and Pro have been playing together for a long time. The amount of coordination that they have together is off the charts.
And as you can see, Vulcans coming in on that bot side, probably not going to achieve anything, but they certainly do distract Tangibility. And while he's distracted, we've got more units coming in on the top side.
Blue team was able to take back that top right outpost, but how long will they be able to hold it? It's 30 to 74. Where are the rest of the Carbon team's units? I guess a lot of them are sitting here at the middle, but okay, there's a couple at the back post.
That rear top outpost of theirs has several tanks on it.
Yeah, there's a couple tanks on that, and again, they're not really being used. Tangi getting focused by the Gorgon and the 2 mechs firing. Wreckz falling victim to the same thing. Man. I don't know what to say. It's overwhelming.
Will the gods finally taste defeat?
Okay. I'm gonna let that phrase sit with you, not with me.
In any case, we've got Goliaths and Gorgons on the Happy and ProPro side. They're not wasting any time with them now. Moving in decisively to lock down that top outpost, as ProPro does die.
Gets focused on the way back. I'm surprised he didn't choose to land at all the entire time. Happy probably should have covered him just a little bit more than he did, because he did have a fair amount of life and they were flying back together.
Unfortunately, that was not the case, and it now falls. Well, Happy's already back up, Pro's already back up, whoever died, someone died, they're not dead anymore, and they're gonna keep going with this offensive. As you can see, there's not very much on the field for Tangibility and Wreckz, as the income gap just keeps on growing.
Can I just take a moment to point out that it is 2018, we are an AirMech strike, and we are seeing a finals match between ProProProPro, happydeath, and Wreckz Tangibility. That's ridiculous
Duel.
Right there. On Duel. Yeah, okay. I guess I should have picked a better starting map, but hey.
It's iconic, alright?
It's iconic, exactly. So, continual approach by the Carbon team right now. They are actually moving out a lot of their heavier units, and they can kind of leave them alone because they don't have to worry too much about them getting picked off. As long as they check in now and then. Gorgons and Goliath moving up, but where are they going to move them to? I would expect them to go to the next outpost. They have stopped, but the funny thing to me is that they're not... Okay, there you go. They did not send all their units. That was really weird. I'm not really sure what was with that.
And at this point, it might be smarter for them to just take all of the outposts, button down, and then slowly siege in from there. Well, you know, counting on that domination damage for a little bit of an extra boost, instead of really, you know, going for a death push right now.
Well, understandably so. The skill level, you know, in this match is so high. Tangi getting finished off by happydeath. But yeah, it is very risky. As you can, if anyone wants to watch archive video of the double kill tournament on Thar Finals Game 1, Broadside and Tangi were able to hold off an insane push by Mimo. That type of thing is still very, very possible in AirMech, even though it's gone through lots of changes. The core mechanics are still the same, and that is a very risky thing to do, even in Duel.
That being said, this is one heck of a push. And Gorgons certainly do make it tougher than it used to be.
That is true. Gorgons did not, they were not player buildable at the time, and there are a lot of, well, considering how heavy they are, there are a lot of units coming out right now. Lots of goalies, lots of Gorgons. There are still a couple of units sitting over at the, you know, right side outpost to the right of mid for the Carbon team. They even have a socketed lockbox, so that's accruing interest and can probably make more units if they lose this push, which I don't think they will.
I don't think they're too concerned about it at this point, though, because once again, those Gorgons are just so oppressive.
They are.
Especially when you're in a base push situation where they drive the mech off, and then once the mech's driven off, they start shooting the outposts. It's ridiculously efficient.
Especially considering Tangi and Wreckz have basically zero income and 0 units on the field. This was a great game. It was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. There's a lot of camera jittering going on, but whoa. It was great. It was a great match.
See how game 2 ends up.
happydeath and ProProProPro team for the win, taking game 1 over pretty mediocre Wreckz and Tangibility, showing that wearing tournament cups don't mean a damn thing.
That's right.
So, we're gonna get into game 2 of the 3rd place match now. If y'all want to stick around to see, and then we'll have some giveaways after the finals are over. Stay tuned.